let's get into it. So the first question is, I recently saw a video on YouTube from another company encouraging you to quit your job and just start doing property, even if you don't have the money saved up. Do you guys think this is a good idea? Yeah, I mean, there's a pretty easy response to that, and absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think most of where these questions come, not the question, but most of where these statements come from are from the gurus who are trying to sell you into a course and tell you how easy it is and it's simple and just make the jump. And look, I'm not saying that if you quit your job and jump boots and all, that you can't be successful. But what I am saying is that you're putting yourself under a massive amount of strain. And oftentimes it's right at the very start of when you are starting to be a property investor or starting to invest in property. So you don't know any better. And so you're listening to someone who apparently knows what they're talking about, but actually probably doesn't know what they're talking about, because what they're trying to do is sell you a property. Now, if you don't have the money, it is just ridiculous, okay, to do that. And I'm sure no sane person will say that. Sure, there'll be lots of property gurus out there. And I say the guru term because actually, I don't necessarily agree that they are gurus. They're salespeople dressed up, wolves in sheep's clothing. And, I've always been pretty vocal about that side of the business, the hard sell. And I think the key here is you've really got to be, you've got to keep your wits about you in this game. Because if you don't, I just put that on there. If you don't, then potentially you're going to be out of a job. Potentially you've invested into a property course and maybe, somewhere between $2,000 up to $30,000 for some of these courses, okay? Now, I've got no problem with education, all right? But there's lots of education out there free, and I believe that you should do a lot of education before you quit your job. And actually, you don't need to quit your job, okay? Now, sure, if you're going to approach a strategy that is a full-time strategy, then okay, fine, but get some capital behind you, for goodness sake. Otherwise, you're just going to put yourself under so much stress. It's just not worth it. You don't need to. There's enough time in the day to be able to have a job and to be able to go and do what you need to do in the early stages. Now, later on when you start getting some success, that is a consideration. At some point, it may be a consideration. Certainly for what I do and the way I build a portfolio is I don't want to be full-time in property. I can think of nothing worse than inspecting properties, developing properties, hammering nails, painting walls, and doing all that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's just not where, it's not the way I'm programmed. I'm much more set and forget. I'm much more about letting other people do what they do and finding the property for me, preparing it all, due diligence, all that sort of stuff, and then me making the assessment. But yeah, certainly it's very dangerous, I think, to do that. If you've got any questions whatsoever, jump on my YouTube channel, Facebook, and just message me, and I'm happy to answer them either in video or text or whatever. And look, guys, be sure to subscribe to my channel, be sure to comment, and I look forward to seeing you. If you want to come along to one of the webinars, jump on our website, gladfish.com, and we're more than happy to chat through, and the guys can take you through getting your own plan and your own strategy, because let's face it, it's all good watching YouTube videos, it's all good watching Facebook videos, it's all good being on LinkedIn, it's all good being on the social media and learning all that sort of stuff. But until you sit down and get down and dirty with your detail and how it affects you personally and the opportunities that you have to make a difference in your life and your family's life, really none of it means, all this education doesn't mean anything until you take your first step. So get and meet with a team. If you do book- or gladfish.com, book-a-meeting, and go there, book a meeting with a team, sit down with them, get all your questions answered. Yeah, it's not a sales pitch. This is where we get your plan and we get your strategy together, and we actually work out what it is you want to achieve, where you're starting out, and then we work out how we can help you get there. And you know what? If we can't help you getting there, that's fine. If you're going to choose a strategy that we don't get involved with, fine. You know what? There's so much free education there that you can learn the fundamentals from. I'm happy to gift that away. It's all free. It's there. I've been doing this for years, giving my education away free. You don't need to go and spend 10 grand, 30 grand, whatever it is, even, $2.5, $3 for a weekend, to learn this stuff. It's there, it's available, and it's, if you're talking about my stuff, it's very simple, okay? So guys, any questions, come back to me. Otherwise, have a great day, live with passion, and look forward to chatting to you real soon.